of high school boys basketball, a non-conference game tonight between the Cooper Hawks and the Osseo Orioles. Hi, I'm Jay Wilcox along with Ryan Iverson. And Ryan, Osseo off to a 4-1 start, but have really only played one real tough team. Cooper, meanwhile, has only had a couple games. They're 1-1. We saw them lose to Prairie Seeds Academy. They're just eager to get some basketball in. They felt they came back and played a lot better in their second game, and both teams looking to have a pretty good season.
Well, and both teams are very similar. They're very well coached. They're disciplined. They're athletic. Good balance, too, across the board. And really, like you said, with Osseo 4-1, their only real challenge was Park Center, and they got thumped by over 20 points. So they played really well on Tuesday. They're excited to get home, defend their home court against a really athletic but young Cooper Hawks team.
Yeah, I think both coaches, you never like to lose, but you get those tests early like that, and you kind of can show your kids, okay, here's what we need to learn from, and they both did have those in their losses.
Well, you always want to lose early rather than late in the season, because it's always a teaching moment, and these coaches are so good nowadays too, Jay, that they just maximize this. So you get a loss by 20 points to Park Center. Coach Tyson, watched the film of that, broke it down, got it back to the basics, and he's got his team's attention, right? When you get an early loss like that, maybe you're not as good as you think you were, or as cocky or as confident. It's a great teaching tool for these coaches. So I expect both of them to continue to move forward.
Cooper basically has most of last year's team back, other than their best player from a year ago, Melvin Newbern. They played very well in this gym and the sections. Coach Bo Powell said that he's glad to have them get a regular season game in here at Osseo, so that when it comes to tournament time, they're ready, because this is where their section is.
Well, we saw them last year beat Wayzata in this gym and give Hopkins everything they could want. And you're right, you're always looking ahead. What's the end game in high school basketball? It's that postseason run, getting your team to peak at the end of the year. So any familiarity with this gym, it's a little different of a layout. The crowd is a little further back, so it makes the shooting dynamics a little bit different. So any experience you can get that'll help you later on is a positive.
Talk about key players to look at in tonight's contest. They have some similarities. They're both juniors. They're both guards. They're both good shooters, starting with Cooper. And Bijan Newbern is a lefty who can get a lot of things done for the Hawks.
Well, his older brother might have left, but he's back, and he is scoring well over 20 points per game. He's just a dynamic player, a lot of fun to watch, and as good as he is, they have 5 players averaging double figures, and that's a really nice asset to have when you can't just zero in on one guy. You got 4 or 5 other guys that can give you points, but he's just a great player. He's so quick and just has that nose for how to score, very similar to what his brother did.
And for Osseo, we're going to talk about their junior sharpshooter, their leading scorer, Zach Tyson.
Well, what can you say about him? A great shooter. He's poised. He's smart. Oh wait, he must be a coach's son, and it's exactly what he is. And you can tell because he plays the game the right way. He moves extremely well without the basketball. He's smart. He'll take what the defense is giving you. I think this year, last year he was a good scorer, but kind of played a secondary role to some of those athletes they had. This year, he's their main scorer, well over 20 points per game. They got to find ways to get him off early. I think when he scores, they start to feel that confidence, that momentum, especially against tonight, a really athletic Cooper team. If they can get him some early looks, I think it'll be really beneficial.
Both teams getting set for holiday tournament play next week. They really would like to go into the Christmas break with a win here tonight. It's Cooper and Osseo Boys Hoops next on CCX Sports.
I adopted Bento in 2010 from a shelter. As it turns out, we have very similar personalities. And this cat makes me make art because he's always motivating me to take pictures of him, to draw pictures of him. He just is motivating artistically. It's just that simple. Well, he's my best friend, but a lot of people know him as Keyboard Cat.
What makes your community feel like home? Is it knowing what's happening in your neighborhood? Or when people know your name? Connections make us a community. For more than 30 years, Northwest Community Television has connected citizens, neighbors, even sports fans through video. As life gets busier than ever, we will still offer you a connected community experience through CCX Media, so you can stay connected to the place you call home.
Welcome back here to Osseo, and joining us from the sideline this evening will be Allie Arlt. Happy holidays, Allie, and let's go over to Allie right now.
Hey, thanks, Jay. You know, earlier you were talking about Zach Tyson, and many of you might remember that last year in the last game of the regular season, he broke his left ankle. Coach Tyson said his son worked really hard in the offseason to rehab that ankle. He had a great summer on the court. He has eliminated the brace and is now just down to tape on that left ankle only. Coach Tyson also says that expectations are at an all-time high this season for Zach, because last year towards the end of the season, he really started to emerge as that leader on the team as just a sophomore. Now a junior, Coach Tyson expects Zach to be the #1 scorer on this team throughout the season, but as his dad, he says he needs to work on his defense.
Thanks, Ellie. As the starters being introduced to the crowd here tonight, we've got Chicago Bulls here a little bit, it looks like.
Flashback to 1996. Chicago, watching on WGN. Good memories.
Here's a look at the starters for Bo Powell and the Cooper Hawks. Bo, of course, had some memorable meetings with Osseo when he was the coach over at Park Center a few years back. They've got their full lineup in tonight, which they did not have when we saw them against Prairie Seats Academy. Nathan Hill and Ante Burns did not play in that game. They start along with Trocott Massey, Damian Gordon, and as we talked about in the pregame, B. John Newbern for the Hawks. And for the Orioles, got Marmar Hughes. The big guy in the middle is Alex Sinnen, Zach Tyson, and then the Bezdacek twins, John and Matt. Matt Bezdacek missed much of last year with an injury. And the Bezdacek brothers are also guys who are seeing their role kind of expand this year, and you know, being asked to do more and step up and be bigger scorers.
Yeah, and they need them, and they can play inside out. They're good shooters, but they do a lot of the tough work, right? They guard a lot of the other team's best players, rebounds, stuff like that. So they're really critical for the Orioles to get off to a good start here this year.
Coach Tyson was, relatively blunted before the game. He said, offensively, I've been relatively pleased. Defensively, I've not been at all. And that's something they've always preached here is defense and create points off your defense. And he said, we're just not there yet on that end.
Well, you think of last year, remember they started on that 27, I believe, game winning streak. And you remember they'd get up and down. There's a look at Tim Tyson in his 15th year, one of the best coaches around. Just a model of consistency. But, they could get up and down. They had some athletes. There's a lot of dunks. But they, in the half court, could lock you up. They got stops when they needed to. And even a couple years ago when they won the state championship, their offense was good, but their defense is what won them those state championships. So he brings a wealth of experience in that department. These kids buy into what he's teaching them, and they'll get better defensively. I can guarantee you that. And I guarantee you that's what they're working on in practice.
Cooper, as we said, really made some strides forward last year, and with a young group. And Bo Powell, he's a guy who will get after his guys. He demands a lot, but it's been, he's really stepped in and done a nice job already at Cooper, and the promise for the future is definitely there.
Well, you know how they say, Jay, that a team takes on the persona of their head coach, right? And that's really true. Bo Powell's a tough-minded, old school, knows the game of basketball, and his players play that way. They respond to him, and already in his second year last year, they had that great run at the end of the year as well. And this year with some a lot of the same players, but still predominantly a young team. He's going to have them ready to peak here as the year goes on, especially as we get into March.
Sinnen and Massey will jump things up here to get this one started. Osseo sporting new uniforms this year. And a big new scoreboard, as we saw there in that pregame, too.
Yeah, I love the dark orange uniforms, too. And they got both bleachers out tonight. A really good crowd here as we enter the holiday weekend. So it's pretty exciting for these kids to tee it up in front of some great fans.
Massey controls the tip back to Hill. We're underway as Osseo man-to-man Cooper in their first possession of the game. Damian Gordon handing it off to Hill. Gets that high screen now, whips the pass down to the baseline. Ante Burns. Gordon takes a three from the top. It's short. And rebounded by John Bezdacek. Here's Marmar Hughes, a returning senior, and it bounces and drops for Hughes.
Yeah, and it's always nice, too. You get that first one to go in. It does wonders for your confidence. He's averaging in double figures, right at 10 points a game.
Look at Hill blow by the D there and lay it in.
Well, he's one of the 5 in double figures for the Hawks, and great ball Ball fake, crossover, and able to finish at the rim.
Matt Bezdacek shot one go. John Bezdacek a try. That didn't drop either. It will be Cooper basketball. So each team getting an early bucket here. We're at 2-2 in the early going.
Well, I know Coach Tyson, and here's a look at that crossover in the finish. That's what he's talking about. You might get beat, man-to-man individually. Where's the help defense? We got to eliminate those easy kind of layups.
Got Hughes defending Newbern. Hill handing it off. Ante Burns will line up a long one. That won't drop. And the rebound corralled there by John Bezdacek for Osseo. Here's Hughes attacking down the middle. No good, but he was fouled. I think it'll be on Newbern.
Yeah, and Hughes, a nice finish, getting to the rim, got the contact. He did have Zach Tyson open on the corner there for an open three. And that's what makes Osseo tough, is if they have the athletes in the ball pressure, you attack the rim, defense has to collapse, and that's when a guy like Zach Tyson finds himself open, able to knock down some threes.
Hughes to the line for a pair, way short with that one. Played a lot of key minutes for that team last year. They often subbed in, both guards at a time. It was kind of like another second wave. And this year, like we talked about with the Bezdaceks, Hughes being asked to do more offensively and to be, consistent offensively, where he was kind of an energy guy off the bench last year.
And just mentally, being a leader, it's a different type of thing. You got to bring energy in your A game every practice, every game, because now everyone's counting on you.
Newbern, the drive, no good, but Massey's there to clean it up.
Well, and even though Newbern doesn't get the credit for the basket, him attacking, forced the help defense over, and a nice job by Massey cleaning it up with an easy second chance basket.
Hughes giving it to Sinan and now hands it back. Osseo wants to go inside more tonight than they have been in their early games. Here's Sinan. Dishes it over. Matt Bezdacek. Offensive foul. Wow. I think probably a decent call. The whistle seemed to come a little bit late, but the defender was definitely there. The only question is how much contact do you allow on a play like that?
Yeah, and interesting, you can see they're doubling Sinan down low. Yeah, and you can see that's a pretty good call. There was definitely his feet were set, just a little bit late on the whistle, but not a bad call.
Here's Hill with the pull-up, and he's looked good early. 4 points for him, one driving layup, and then a pull-up J there. 6'3" Hawks.
And he's only 5'9", but he is built like a brick truck, as is number 14, Ante Burns, too. You see, that time we saw Hill get to the basket. That time defense respects his off the dribble. He's able to pull up and hit that little 10-footer. Nice array of shots for Hill early on. Tyson
picks up the dribble, gives it out to Hughes. Every time I see Hill, he's just somebody you want on your team, just because he brings confidence and toughness and defense and some skill offensively, as he's been able to show early on too.
Well, and he's only 5'9", Jay, but you look at him, you think he's got to be 6'3", 6'4". He's got that big, strong body. And all of Cooper, even Ante Burns, number 14, he's only 6 foot, but they got him guarding bigger guys. They play stronger, physical, they're tough. And sometimes you can overcome height or a lack thereof with those type of players.
Newbern defended by Hughes, and he gives it back out to Hill. Matt Bezdacek, kind of a tall order guarding a guy quick like Hill, but trying to stay with him. Here's Gordon to the baseline. Hill gets him up in the air. Here's the drive, and it'll be an offensive foul on Hill. I think he knew it.
Well, and a nice job, too. I think that was John Bezdacek came over and got that charge. That's where Nathan Hill, he's just got to step up, take that 10-footer that we saw him make a couple possessions ago. Great ball fake, able to get to the lane. That's where you just go straight up, straight down. You take away the referee any chance of getting a charge.
John Bezdacek, the drive would not drop, and it will be Cooper ball. Hawks had inside position, but couldn't corral a rebound, but it goes out off of Osseo. So now some pressure coming here from the Orioles. I don't think we'll see all night long press by both teams, but we're definitely going to see some of it here and there.
Well, again, I think you just change it up and try to get Cooper out of a rhythm, force them to work.
Oh, and that's a big one. That's going to be an offensive foul on Hill using that off arm. He picks up his second in about 45 seconds here, as he used the arm a little bit on Bezdacek.
That was pretty minuscule. But when you got a foul, you got to be careful with that. You can't never let the referees decide your outcome, right? You've already got a quick foul. You got to play really smart. Anytime the refs see that arm extension, it's usually a pretty easy call.
Jalen Justice, number 0, comes in to replace Hill, so we'll see if he has to sit out for a big, long stretch here. Tyson with it. Justice defending him. Tyson hasn't been able to get a shot up as of yet here for Osseo. Pass in the middle, knocked away, but they get a fortunate bounce. Now a nice up fake by Hughes. He goes to the glass and scores.
Well, just beautiful ball movement there. It was almost like hot potato. No one held onto it. They reversed it. Nice shot fake by Hughes, and he attacks the rim. And he's got all their points so far, Jay, in the first half.
Good start for Marmar Hughes. Now it's Newbern with it out on the wing, and he traveled. Newbern, you could see the thoughts in his head. He had a couple different things he wanted to do there, and he was called for the travel. Here's another look at that nice move by Hughes.
Well, and that's where Ante Burns, number 14, it's got to stay on his feet. Make Hughes make that contested three-pointer. Osseo's so good at shot faking, getting to the basket, make them hit contested jump shots.
Sinan over to Bezdacek. Matt Bezdacek, no good. Hughes kept it alive, and John Bezdacek will run it down. Cross court, and Massey nearly had a layup the other way. He got a piece of that as they tried to go way across to Tyson.
Massey looked like a safety there, closing on that ball in the air.
And Osseo, they first started to signal Jazz Booker in and then told him that he couldn't. And Coach Tyson isn't too pleased with it. He said, I had him at the score table long before the stoppage there. I'm not sure why they didn't allow that. So Tyson giving it over now to John Bezdacek. Oh, they missed Sinan underneath there for a moment. Tyson to the baseline. Little step back pull-up jumper. Will not drop. Sinan, I think, came over the back there. Yep, going to be a foul on the big guy inside. Alex Sinan picks up his first. Team foul number 2 on the Orioles.
Well, nice job, Damian Gordon. Only 6'4", giving up about 4 or 5 inches, but putting a body on him, boxing out. And really, Cooper's done a nice job of limiting Osseo to just one shot, not giving them second chance opportunities.
Justice to Gordon as they work against Osseo's pressure. Newbern, a floater off the glass, no good. And they're going to get a foul on Bijan Newbern trying to get the ball back, and that will be his second as well. So he and Hill each picking up early fouls. Jalen Justice will come in, Jalen Miller, number 15, coming in for Osseo as you get a look at Newbern.
Yeah, that's the right call. And again, that's just making that kind of mistake. You got one foul. Cooper needs Newbern on the floor. They need him not to pick up those kind of fouls.
Around to Hughes. He'll pitch it inside. Matt Bezdacek, little up and under move. Score that hoop, and one coming. Matt Bezdacek did a good job of bumping off the defender and then getting the shot to go. Jalen Miller will pick up the foul.
Well, that's an up and under, and not only did he do the up and under, but he switched the ball from his right hand over to his left hand, able to finish with the contact off the glass. Beautiful move.
And he's the right-handed brother of the two, so that was his offhand. He makes the three-point play for the Orioles, and they now grab an 8-6 lead.
Well, now you just wonder with Cooper, with Hill and with Newbern out of the game, and of course, as soon as I say that, they get a bucket.
Burns able to put it away.
But you wonder where that offense might come from.
Inside it goes again. Matt Bezdacek. Here's Booker. A little turnaround. Won't drop. Rebound there by Hughes. That won't go. And rebounded now by Justice for Cooper. And here come the Hawks. Justice to Gordon at the baseline. And that's going to be an offensive foul. Boy, a lot of charges drawn. Both coaches like that when it's their guy on D. They don't like it as much when it happens offensively.
Well, they had a 2-on-1. I thought Jalen Justice held on to that ball a little bit too long.
Yeah, the timing wasn't great. He either needed to give it up sooner or keep it himself a little longer.
He put his teammate in a tough spot there on the baseline.
In for Osseo, Keyshawn Sutton, number 5. And here's a driving layup. John Bezdacek puts Osseo back in front.
Well, averaging 12 points a game, and you love to see those kind of baskets. No help defense for Cooper. Good movement, good spacing, allows him to get a clean look.
Justice, a pull-up, will not drop. John Bezdacek outletting to Hughes. Hughes kicking it across. Tyson had a little trouble with the handle, so he couldn't squeeze up a shot there. And here's the jumper taken by Sutton. It won't go, and Gordon snags the rebound. And Booker is called for the foul. He just couldn't hold up. Those are the kind of fouls you hate to get. And I think the official tried to give him the benefit of the doubt. He didn't call it immediately, but eventually he was knocking Gordon off balance, and he had to call it.
Yeah, and you don't like those when they're 65 feet away from the basket too, right? He had, like you said, Jay, the referee gave him a chance. He kind of swiped at it, but then he hung around. Easy call to make. I'll tell you what, I do like Cooper is really running hard at Zach Tyson. When he gets the ball on the perimeter, they're not giving him an ounce. He's got a quick shot release, and they do not want to get him going from the perimeter, doing a nice job making him give the ball up.
Malachi Jackaway-Onu coming in, number 11 now for Cooper, as Justice brings it to the front court here for the Hawks. They spread things out a little bit, and here is Malachi. Whoops, a little off target on the reverse layup attempt. And now we get a kind of a similar foul to back the other way. This is going to be on Jalen Miller, as he was kind of an excuse me one on the way up court. And yeah, Bezicek really kind of veered into him there. But they'll give him the call, and Bezicek goes to the free throw line now as they're in the bonus. Matt Bezicek hits. All right, I'm glad one brother's left hand and one's right. They're pretty tough to tell apart just by looking facially at them.
Well, and that you got the numbers on the back.
Yeah,
of the
that's
jerseys.
true.
But they could trick us sometime.
I have to admit, in a sport like basketball where we're this close to the court, I go a lot more by face than by number.
Yep.
In contrast to football or something like that. Here's Jalen Miller pulling up. No good with that one. Tracked down by Matt Bezicek. Pushing the tempo back the other way. No good, but he was fouled. Going to be foul call on the Hawks. Malachi Jackaway-Onu here.
And you can see both players reach in. That's just basketball 101. You got to stop the ball in transition. Someone's got to pick Bezicek up and stop the ball, make him give the ball up. He gets a head of steam going. You can see he's very talented. He's a good athlete too. 6'3", long, athletic, and he attacks the rim. He gets rewarded. Referees reward you when you go hard like that to the basket.
Misses the second free throw, and Cooper with the rebound. Hawks trailing it by 5. A little bit of a slow start offensively for them after Hill had a couple early hoops, but then went to the bench with foul trouble.
When you wonder how long Coach Powell's going to keep Newburn and Hill out of the game. Just a little stagnant. You can see Osseo able to help, not really worried about one guy getting to the basket right now, and their pressure's increased, and right now all the momentum on the home team side.
They're able to force a turnover there as the travel called. Massey will come back into the Hawks lineup. Booker inbounding to Marmar Hughes. A couple of good football players coming up court together there with Burns and Hughes.
Ante Burns was just an animal this year, Jay, when we did Cooper games.
Here's Tyson from the baseline, and that's good for 3.
Well, that's what we talked about. You give him just an inch. He's got a quick release, and he's got supreme confidence. What you look for in shooters is that can they get their shot off quickly, and do they have the confidence to take those kind of shots? And Zach Tyson has both of those attributes, and he knocks down a big perimeter shot.
Burns looking to attack, was fouled. Tyson reached in and hacked him, I believe.
Yeah,
it's going to be a Booker, actually.
And you can see it was a little fade screen there on the baseline. And, a lot of good shooters, they don't need a lot of time. They don't need to really get that space to see the basket. They're so accustomed after thousands of reps of getting their shots off. And you got to have one of those kind of awareness on Zach Tyson at any time.
Free throw is good. Second one coming for Burns here. And he makes a pair. And some subs in for Osseo. Malik Harut, number 1, and also Maurice Nelson, number 10. Cooper coming with the press. They're now to within 6 at 16-10. Tyson getting it to Sutton. Keyshawn Sutton faked the pass and makes a late one. It's tipped, but gets over to Harut and he lays it in.
How about that? Harut in the game for less than 3.5 seconds. He gets a touch right by the basket and gets an easy bucket.
And we'll have a backcourt foul here against Osseo Zach Tyson.
Well, kind of nice idea there. The ball gets tipped and just being in the right place at the right time. But I like Osseo combating the pressure, the full court pressure of Cooper, and says, hey, if you're going to pressure us, we're going to attack you. Try to get an easy look, and they do.
That was a 15 foul against Osseo, so 2 more till they're in the bonus. Here's Burns going to the hoop, and nice hang time, draws a foul there. He didn't have a lot of space to get that shot up, but he just held on to it until the defender fouled him.
Well, not only that, but he's got such a strong body. He goes into contact. You see orange bodies flying off of him, and he just continues to go up. And if he can get that first step and get that, within that 3 to 5 foot range of the basket, he's got the physicality to finish and get contact and make the basket as well.
After making his first 2 free throws, he misses that one. He had 1 more coming here. And Burns now 3 out of 4 at the line, has 5 points. It's 18-11 Osseo. Back across, they're going to be in danger of the 10-second count here. Now they get it to the front court. Down low, and the layup good for Maurice Nelson off the feed there from Sutton.
Yeah, and I like what Maurice did there. He just caught it and he went right up. He didn't play around with it. He didn't double clutch. He just caught it, scored. And again, Osseo being patient. That was close to a 10-second violation, Jay, but as soon as they crossed half court, then they were in a 3-on-2 situation, able to attack, and again, get another easy look out of it.
Burns inbounding, looking to Gordon in between traffic. Goes right back to Burns, but he got a little bit out of... He wasn't sure where he was on the court there, and that shot missed badly from in close. And then we get a foul on Cooper trying to get that rebound back, and that'll be on Massey, and we'll come to the other end. And boy, if Osseo can make free throws, they could really make Cooper pay for being in the bonus for this long.
Well, and you can't fault a guy like Massey attacking the offensive glass, but you don't want to pick up a foul. Again, on the complete other side of the court, now you're sending a good free throw shooter to the line for 1-and-1, and with just under 9 minutes left to play, if Osseo is able to attack and put pressure on, they're going to be shooting for a lot of free throws here left in the first half.
Matt Bezdacek knocks down another one here, so the lead is 10 here for Osseo. And he makes a pair. He's at a solid start to the game here, and it's 22-11 now for the Orioles, their biggest lead, obviously, as they pick up that half court now. Justice to the front court for Cooper. And he is fouled as he goes to the lane and gets that shot up. It was a very difficult shot, and if you're Osseo right there, you're thinking, gosh, we played such good D. You don't end it with a foul like that. They forced a difficult shot.
Well, that's Maurice Nelson, number 10. He came up to help. You just got to go straight up and straight down. Anytime you go forward, press your arms down, it's an easy call for the referee. And to your point, the degree of difficulty on that shot for Jalen Justice was a 10. So if he makes it, hey, we'll live with it. Don't bail him out with a foul and put him to the free throw line.
One more coming here for Justice. And he's able to hit a pair. Timeout taken by Cooper as they have cut it to 9 now, 22-13. They have just had, a lot of trouble getting into sync offensively. Osseo, I think, maybe getting, a little closer to what Coach Tyson wants to see from them defensively. And Cooper, it's just been a little disjointed.
Well, and it makes matters worse when you got, Bijan Newborn averaging 24 points a game. He hasn't got going yet. He didn't get into a rhythm. He's out with 2 fouls. Hill with those quick early baskets. He was the one putting the pressure on the defense. He's sitting out with 2 fouls. So they had to do it with their 2 main scorers sitting on the bench. That's why I said I wonder, Coach Powell, how long he'll keep both of them or one of them out of the game. See if they can get a little run going offensively.
It's always that balancing act, how long do you sit guys with fouls? Do you trust that they can get there to halftime? I mean, obviously you don't want to pick up a third, but at the same time, you don't want to have such a big chunk of the game without them, too.
The key word you said is trust. And as a coach, if you have that trust in a player, hey, we're going to need you. You got 2 fouls. If I put you back in, it doesn't mean you don't play hard. Doesn't mean you stop competing, but it means when you're tempted to reach, you don't do it. When there's a iffy over the back, you let it go. And if you trust your players to not make those kind of mistakes, then I think you get your players back out there. Otherwise, you end up losing, the control of the game. You're down 9 at this point. At what point do you say, hey, enough's enough, let's get our guys back in there?
And we'll get a travel out high on Malik Harut there. So Jalen Miller will inbound for the Hawks. Gordon flashing out to the wing, a little short with that. And batted loose over to Harut, and here come the Orioles. Tyson giving it to Bezdicek, and now inside, here's Sinan, and the layup is good.
Well, great little triangle space right there, and again, beautiful hustle on the steal.
Matt Bezdicek to John, and then the layup attempt, no good for Harut. Massey back the other way. Justice thought about passing that one in there and then doesn't. Here's Jalen Miller. Osseo by 11. Massey driving for Cooper, and he was fouled. As a reach-in call on John Bezdicek, it'll be his first. And we'll send Massey to the free throw line.
Well, watch this. I want you to see number 3 right there. You see John Bezdicek. When Coach Tyson's talking about defense, you see him reach with that left hand. What great defensive teams do is they take that one extra step in and they draw a charge. They force that ball to go away from the rim, kick it to the perimeter. Do not allow those kind of dribble drives. And so they're close, but that's where John Bezdicek has to take one more step and use his body. Do not let that ball get to the rim.
Massey's free throw, no good. Free throws were definitely an issue for Cooper in that loss that we had on TV a couple weeks back against Prairie Seeds, and Massey misses a pair there. And then a turnover as Miller takes it away and scores.
Yeah, there was some contact there, but you like Jalen Miller being aggressive, just rips it away from Sinan, able to finish.
Tyson back to Sinan. Cooper being real aggressive, and Massey will pick up a foul there. You can kind of tell, they want aggressive defense, and at times there's going to be some fouls that come with that. And
yeah, you live with that, but again, you don't want to foul when you're in the bonus away from the basket like that. It's one thing if you're defending underneath, you don't want to give up a layup, but you got to be physical and smart at the same time. And here you go, you get rewarded because you're shooting 2 now the rest of the way.
Sinan misses the first free throw. Hughes checks back in. Harut out for Coach Tyson and the Orioles here. Sinan, one of the leading scorer and rebounder on their JV a year ago. He misses that one, and Gordon up high for the rebound for Cooper. Gordon lost it on the drive. It comes over to Massey, but the Orioles took it. Then Gordon gets it right back. Miller is fouled, and it goes. Wow. He'll hit a 3-pointer and have a chance for the rare 4-point play as Jalen Miller buries it, and John Bezdicek fouled it.
Well, there's the effort you see by Gordon, but that couldn't have been a worse possession right there. Alex Sinan's got to be strong with that basketball. You can't be like that, and then they kick it out with the contact, and Jalen Miller hits a big 3. And we always talk in basketball, it's such a game of momentum. Well, how about that? Chance for a 4-point play to get his team right back into this game.
And the Krall's running out, but Gordon the rebound, and they might have a chance for a 5-point play now. He missed the shot, but he'll go to the free throw line. Wow. Good hustle by Gordon in back-to-back sequences here.
Well, you saw him save that ball that was going out of bounds. Just a great effort in there. Just an offensive rebound out of a free throw. Nothing drives a coach crazier than that. You practice it every day. Got to box those guys out. And Cooper's not, it's not like they have a size advantage, but they might have a quickness, and right now maybe a toughness advantage down there, and they're certainly using it to their advantage.
Matt Bezdicek picked up the foul. We talked about Cooper a little foul trouble, but now both Bezdiceks, Nelson, and Booker all have 2 fouls for Osseo as well. Gordon gets 1 out of 2, so that it's down to a 5-point game. Osseo seemed to be in command not too long ago, but Cooper coming back with some good hustle plays more than anything.
Well, and keep in mind, too, that Nate Hill and Bijan Newborn both on the bench too. So they're buying some extra time here, keeping it close. Their role players doing a nice job of keeping them into this game.
And we get a foul away from the ball, just in for Cooper there, Derek Doss, and he's called for kind of a hip check on the cutter there down on the baseline. I happened to be watching that, and he didn't want to allow a free cut, but he stepped into him kind of at an awkward time there. Free throw is good for John Bezdacek.
And again, another foul, not necessarily with action towards the basket. It was a baseline cut. You want to be physical, bump the cutter, but you can't foul him on that.
Second free throw good. I think Coach Powell probably telling the official that, well, you could call that on every possession, though, because that was no different than most bump the cutter situations. But they've done a nice job officiating here tonight.
Well, you know what, too? Regardless, every official is different. It's up to you as a coach and you as a player to adapt to what's being called. Some games, they let a lot of that stuff go and you adapt to it. Maybe you can play a little bit more physical. Other games, they call it all the little touch fouls, and right or wrong, you have to adapt to it. If not, you're going to be sitting on the bench with multiple fouls, and it's going to become a free throw game. So who can adapt to it, figure it out, and then adjust and make plays?
7-point lead here for Osseo as we approach the holiday time here. Cooper and Osseo had some good battles in section play. They haven't played in the regular season in a while, but going back to the days when Rodney Williams and crew were playing for Cooper, and Carrington Tankson and those guys for Osseo. And then they met a little bit after that, too, when Rashad Bond was playing for Cooper. There's Hughes getting a piece of that, but he was out of bounds as he saved it.
I like Coach Tyson out of the timeout, going to a little trap, half-court trap, trying to get Cooper and some of this youth maybe caught in some situations in the corner, and almost got away with the steal there.
Inbounded to Miller. Gordon giving it over to Burns. Osseo changing up defense again here. Looks like a little matchup. Maybe 2-3.
What you'd like to see is Cooper maintain its aggressiveness. They had some success down by the basket, attacking the rim, getting second chance points. And out of a zone, you got to stay aggressive. And again, they find the drive, the penetration, kick on the baseline, and Jalen Justice knocks it down.
3 for Justice brings them back to within 4 points. Closest Cooper's been in a while. Tyson turns it over. Here comes Miller. Across to Gordon. Gordon off the defender, no good, and Bezdacek the rebound. Now Hughes. On the drive, Miller will be called for the hold as Bezdacek put it on the floor hard. That'll be the third on Jalen Miller.
Well, and a smart play by Matt Bezdacek, too, knowing he's got pressure on him. He just rips right to left and attacks the glass, knowing he's going to get bodied and knowing he's going to get to the free throw line.
And misses on the free throw, just his second miss. He's had 6 makes, so 6 out of 8 now. And misses a pair. So Cooper down by 4 and a chance to cut into that lead further here. They were down double digits not too long ago. Burns steps in, pull-up jumper no good. Battle for the rebound, and ultimately Hughes winds up with it for the Orioles. Hughes pushing it. Oh, wow. Layup is good by Matt Bezdacek. Great assist and great run of the court there by Bezdacek.
Well, did you see how Marmar Hughes came on the right side, got to the middle of the lane, and then looked away with the pass? Beautiful job.
Inside to Doss, no good. And the Orioles get it back here. Tyson up the middle of the floor. Kicks it back out. Open and hitting the 3, Matt Bezdacek, who's had a great first half here for the Orioles. And then that pass airmailed all over the top by the Hawks. So now it's Osseo's turn to surge a little bit. They're up 9.
Well, and on that last possession, you saw Zach Tyson kind of being the opposite, the role player here. He drives, creates for his teammate. A lot of times he's the beneficiary of getting a wide open 3. That time finds Matt Bezdacek, and he's had the hot hand. He's in double figures now in the first half.
Tyson cut off, goes to Booker, who's back in there now. Down low, flashing free. Guess who? Matt Bezdacek.
Well, from his brother John. You think they know where each other's at all the time, years and years of playing together. But what I like there, as soon as Matt caught that, he just turned and finished it. He didn't come down. He didn't allow any help defense to get there. A quick finish down low.
He's got 15 points here in this first half. The lead back to double figures. Gordon shooting it up, no good. Tyson the rebound. Tyson driving it and was fouled. Justice called for the bump and will send Tyson to the free throw line for a pair here for Osseo. That's not necessarily his number one asset, but obviously he knew they had the numbers to attack there.
Well, I'll tell you what, you think of him as a jump shooter. I like that he's added that part to his game, showing great speed, quickness, some ball handling there. The other thing is the physicality. He went in looking for the contact. A lot of times shooters are considered more finesse players, and that time Zach did a really nice job attacking the basket and trying to get the contact, and he's an excellent free throw shooter as well.
5 points for him now, and the lead has ballooned to 13 here for Osseo. It was 4 just a moment ago. Gordon then throws that one out, trying to find Isaiah Gordon, who had just checked in. I think he was expecting to go to the hoop, but really it wasn't a very accurate pass.
I'm surprised Coach Powell hasn't gone with his guys, Nate Hill and Bijan Newbern. Yeah, I mean, about 3 minutes ago, they need the ball in their hands, making those kind of decisions.
To Booker, no good. The tip, though, is good. That's John Bezdacek getting up and tipping it in here. 15-point lead for Osseo. Cooper had really had some momentum going, but not anymore. Booker with the steal. They've tried a lot of long passes without much success. Tyson way short on the 3. And Booker gets it back. Hughes into the middle, back for Booker, and going to be last touched by Cooper as that pass was tipped. So here comes Massey, Newbern, and Hill for Cooper, as you said, Coach Powell kind of realizing this one's getting away from us.
Yeah, what's the point? You save your players from getting more fouls. By the time they come back in, you're down 20, 25 points. You know, you got to get your players in. We're going to win or lose, regardless if our players have 2, 3, 4 fouls. We got to compete.
Hughes, they set a nice screen for Tyson, but he missed it, and Hill grabs it.
Yeah, unusual. Got 2 wide open looks and really not even close. Well short. But I think Osseo loves that they're executing that. They'll take those shots every time. And Zach Tyson's not going to miss too many of those wide open threes.
Back out to Hill, just off the bench, in and out, and Booker rebounds. Here's Sutton. Whipped across. Now Tyson wide open again, and this time he'll nail it.
You get 3. When you give a great shooter 3 chances from the same spot, they're usually going to knock one down. And I love, too, on transition, he finds the opening, and his teammates look for him.
And Tyson and Newbern get locked up here. Tyson, I think, will be called for the foul as he dove in after it.
Yeah, here's that transition, and watch, you can see at the top of our screen, Zach Tyson's there, and John Bezdacek knew right where he was, turned, fired. Defense is taught to run. You sprint to the rim, and then you get a shooter wide, and he gets another open look and knocks it down.
Second foul on Zach Tyson, so Newbern will go to the free throw line here. Now we have to maybe think about getting him out of there as well. But a lot of guys have 2 fouls out there now. Newbern yet to score here tonight. Now he's on the board with that free throw.
Well, and he's got the ability to put consecutive baskets together pretty quickly. And sometimes as a scorer, you get a free throw, and now you see it go in, helps you get into your rhythm.
Misses the second one, though, and the Orioles get the rebound. Sutton with it on the baseline, and the defender overplayed it and left him a little room to spin the other way, and he lays it in.
Yeah, good patience, too. I thought he held on to it a little too long. Instead, kind of set his man up, spun baseline, got a great look out of it. Nice reverse footwork there, reverse pivot.
Back out, Hill has some trouble, nearly turned it over. Now a little stop and go move, and Booker fouled him. That'll be the 3rd on Booker, and there again, kind of another situation where you've forced a tough shot. Don't follow through and knock them down like that.
And that's easier said than done, too, with Nate Hill, who's got good physicality, knows how to use his body, kind of seeks out that contact. But, Nate Hill had those 4 quick points early, had to sit with foul trouble. But really, he's probably been the one guy consistently able to get to the basket, plays at a good pace, and again, he uses that upper body and lower body so well.
Well, the last 2 minutes here are crucial for Cooper. If they can get it down, around 10 or so, they're still very much in it. But as it sits right now, they're down big. Nelson giving it up. Tyson, the layup is good.
Well, I like the idea of Cooper, getting pressure, full court, picking up like that. But they got to get back on D. The few times they have done that, Osseo's been able to break it, throw over the top, get some easy baskets out of it.
Newbern spinning to the middle. Hill for 3 and in and out. Harud out of there with it and gives it to Tyson. Osseo has really blown this one open. They're up 19. Hughes driving into the middle. Oh, and a tough shot. Quite a bit of contact, but he's able to get it to drop.
And you say, Nate Hill, I see what you're doing on that end. I'm going to try that too. And uses that big upper body, took some contact, still able to get good balance and get a good shot off.
Here's Gordon to the hoop. And that one is going to be an offensive foul on Gordon of Cooper.
I think that was Maurice Nelson that slid over, number 10. And again, Coach Tyson telling us before the game, we're not happy with where we are at defensively. That's what you love to see. Unselfishness, good hustle, getting over. And it hurts sometimes to take a charge, Jay. So it's an act of toughness and unselfishness, too, to give your body to your team. And a nice job.
A little bit of sweat on the floor here, so they're cleaning that up as Osseo gets set to inbound. 46-25, Orioles really opened up a lead. Cooper had pulled it within 26-22, but that seems like a long time ago now. Hawks looking to trap. Hughes up for Tyson over his head there to Nelson. And now Hughes going to the glass, and he scores. Marmar Hughes showing up nicely for the Orioles tonight.
Well, Marmar had great body control there, didn't he? Kind of hung his body one way, finished without drawing contact or picking up a charge. And again, off that press, thrown over the top, been very successful for Osseo.
Justice misses. Hughes the rebound. Tyson into a double, and he was fouled by Massey, I believe.
Yep. There could be 3, I believe, on Massey.
Yep.
Yeah. And again, you got to know time, score, where you're at on the court, and who you're fouling. You want to get pressure. They had a good opportunity to get Zach Tyson in a trapping situation. You just can't reach because you're putting another guy that's a great free throw shooter on the line here.
First one good. Second one also good for Tyson. Got a dozen now, and it's 50-25, Osseo. Hill into the front court here for the Hawks. It's like they want to get something set up to get a good, clean look here in the last 10 seconds or so. You're still coaching situations, even though you're down big at this point.
Well, the only thing you got to be careful of is sometimes you wait too long and you end up taking a bad shot out of this. You got to go quicker.
Hill gets to the lane and scores. Nice move. And at the end, that'll just be no call there. So Osseo holding a big lead, 50-27 here at halftime.
Don't you wonder if it's a close game? Is that call called? You know what I mean? Maybe. But that was a nice job. A nice offensive play to end there by Nate Hill. Good spacing. He attacks the basket, gets a beautiful finish.
And let's go to Allie with Coach Powell.
Thank you, Jay. Coach, your team started out strong, but there's been a lull for the most of the first half. What happened there?
They call a lot of fouls. Call a lot of fouls on us. So I had 3 of my starters on the bench. So when you're putting guys in that's a little bit inexperienced, this is what happened. We just got to get calls on both sides. Just, we getting checked the same way, but we're not getting those calls. We just got to get some calls, but we got to tighten ourselves up too. So.
With 3 of those starters, experienced starters on the bench, how do you create more movement offensively in the second?
Oh, we'll get everything together. We'll talk about it and we'll fix it.
All right, go to the locker room and do that, Coach. Jay?
Thanks, Ellie, and thanks, Coach Powell. We'll hear from Coach Tyson in a moment as well. 50-27, our halftime score. We'll be back with more of our live coverage of high school basketball on CCX Sports.
I see you mobbing over her. Let's go. Let's mob. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, we mobbing. Come on, girl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl.
What makes your community feel like home? Is it knowing what's happening in your neighborhood? Or when people know your name? Connections make us a community. For more than 30 years, Northwest Community Television has connected citizens, neighbors, even sports fans through video. You can learn about the latest news through our truly local newscast. We cover and air around 150 high school sporting events every year. For our cities, we air parades and city meetings that you can watch whenever you want. Then, any citizen of our cities can create and share their own original content. We'll even teach you how to use the equipment too. We have always provided you with a connected community experience. And as life gets busier than ever, we will continue to engage, inform, and inspire through CCX Media, so you can stay connected to the place you call home.
I rescued Toast from a shelter in 2011. I love Toast because she's a lazy diva. Toast does whatever she wants, obviously. She's sleeping right now. She's an epic snuggler. She's so comforting. She's so loving. Toast makes me laugh. When I walked into the shelter, I knew right then that she was special.
Welcome back here to Osseo High School. Nice crowd on hand. Happy holidays from all of us here at CCX Sports, formerly known as Channel 12. 50-27 Orioles. We'll take a look at some highlights from this first half. It was kind of a strange game. Osseo started strong, Cooper battled back, and then Osseo just blitzed them at the end. Marmar Hughes had a good first half there, one of his buckets. Got it to drop from the baseline. Hill was good early, but then to pick up those two quick ones, that was a big turning point.
Well, it was, and like you said, he was the only one getting anything to the basket. That was his second bucket. That was still when it was, I think, a two-point game at that point. He got his second foul, and then Dijon, also Newburn, got his second foul. So a big part of your offense sitting out for quite a bit of time there in the first half. Burns driving it to the hoop there for the Hawks. Here's Tyson getting free. It went a long time without a shot attempt, but it still wound up with a 12-point first half. He's able to bury that three. Inside it goes, and Sinan able to finish right there. Nice pick and roll, and that's what happens when you got a shooter. You got to pay attention to him. You get a lot of stuff that opens up. Justice burying that three, but the wheels had kind of fallen off already by that point for Cooper. Great break there. Hughes, perfect timing. Matt Bezdicek, big story in the first half with 15 points. And here's Tyson dishing it back, and here's Mr. Bezdicek calmly nailing a three right there for the Orioles, and then they get another nice look here as a cross-court pass goes to a wide-open Zach Tyson. And what you didn't see is he missed two right before that, so both of his threes coming from the same spot. He's too good of a shooter to give that many opportunities to.
See what Bezdacek and Tyson have done, and Hughes with 9. Hill leading the way, although he didn't play all that much for Cooper. So we will come back with more of our coverage here of basketball on CCX Sports. Cooper trying to bounce back. Osseo saying more of the same would be just fine.
Doesn't see race. Love is love.
This is the moment I knew his future had no boundaries.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
Oh, look, a redhead. Staring contest. You still got it. I know.
Come alive with the forest.
The dad was cute.
You were looking right at us.
Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
To eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat?
1 in 5 children struggles with hunger in America. Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
To eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat?
1 in 5 children struggles with hunger in America. Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Welcome back here to Osseo High School. The Orioles leading Cooper 50-27. Great flurry late in that first half. Let's go over to Allie with Coach Tyson.
Thank you, Jay. Coach, before the game, we talked about really making this a defensive game and creating and forcing turnovers. That first half did a lot of just that. Talk about that first half and your thoughts on it.
I thought we did a really good job containing their penetration. We held them to 9 baskets. You know, I know we got into foul trouble, 10 fouls. We got to stop fouling them. We can't put them to the line. But if we maintain and contain their penetration, I like what we have the second half.
Is there anything that you want to see it to step up offensively? I know you've said that offense has been what you guys are great at. Work on the defense. What do you want to see in the second?
Well, I still want us to share the ball. We did a great job having assists that first half. We shared the ball extremely well. We can't be selfish. We have to make the pass that leads to an easy pass. Our transition points were phenomenal in the first half. Let's keep it going second half.
Good luck in the second, Coach. Thank you. Jay?
Thanks, Allie, and thanks, Coach Tyson. And, you have to resist the urge to just say, okay, we're fine now. We're way ahead at halftime. And obviously coaches that have been around as long as these guys will never say that to their players.
Well, it's always teachable moments, right? Okay, we got a big lead. You don't want your team to come out complacent. That's a coach's biggest fear. How do we get better? Okay, let's keep sharing the ball. Let's keep working defensively. Let's play without fouling. That's what both teams need to do in the second half, not just Osseo. And if you're Cooper too, this is a challenge. We're down 23. Even if we don't win this game, let's win the second half. Can we win this second half? Can we take care of the basketball, take good shots? And the other thing too, to Coach Tyson's point, he said in transition, we really handled the ball. We got some great looks. They certainly did. Interesting to see if Cooper continues to put pressure on full court and if they're able to be successful at it or if Osseo is able to throw it over the top.
Cooper basketball to begin the second half. Newbern getting it into Hill. Justice around. Here's Newbern. Justice puts it on the deck. Tough shot on the run, no good, and Sinan rebounds. Armar Hughes pushing it back the other way for Osseo to Tyson. Tyson will dish it over. Here's John Bezdicek open for three.
Well, he said, maybe it's my turn, brother. You had the first half. Let me get going here in the second half.
Newbern open for three, and that's good. His first basket. He had one free throw in the first half. Sat a long time, of course, with fouls.
Well, that's huge. You don't average 24 points a game unless you're extremely skilled and talented, so they got to get him going. That's a big sign for their offense.
And here's the answer from Tyson as he rattles home a three. He has 15, and it's 56-30.
I always thought that's so demoralizing. You hit a three on one end, you kind of feel like, okay, maybe we got it going, and then you give up a three to answer it.
Here's a steal. Matt Bezdicek all the way, and layup good.
We're going to have a battle of the Bezdiceks here tonight. Both brothers playing phenomenal basketball.
Hill on the dribble here, a little crossover. Tried to go inside. Nice steal by John Bezdicek as he dropped back in. And then it goes inside. Here's Matt Bezdicek. No, but Hughes cleans it up.
Well, Hughes was going for every stat possible on that break and assist. He didn't get it. He got a rebound and then got the basket. And again, you can see how great they are in transition. What they do, and I'm not comparing Zach Tyson to Steph Curry at all, but when you got a guy that can shoot like that, and there's a nice three by Jalen Justice, but when you got a guy that can shoot threes, and there's such an awareness on him, the defense runs out to the three-point line, and you end up giving up easier baskets.
Inside, here's two more for Matt Bezdicek. Well, Cooper, if they want to get back in it, obviously going to have to get some stops, and that's not happening. Their offense is picked up, but they're giving up just as many buckets as they're getting. Hill with the floater, no good. Sinan was fouled on the outlet.
Oh, and that's going to be three on Hill, too. I think he's a little frustrated. He got a good look, didn't get his balance, didn't get his legs under the shot. And then a frustration foul. That's going to be his third, but I like Coach leaving him in there.
Well, it looks like they gave the foul to Massey.
Oh, wow.
Instead.
That's his fourth.
Sinan over to Tyson. Hughes, Sinan calling for it in the lane, shoveled it over to Matt Bezdicek, and he was tied up by Newbern. Held ball will go to Osseo.
I like what Osseo is doing. Every time they fill down low into Sinan, they cut. They'll have one or two guys cutting right to the basket. And Sinan's got good eyes, and he's a great passer from the low post.
Turnover there on the Orioles. Sinan trying to hand that one over to Hughes. It was really on the passer there. I think Hughes tried to save it, but couldn't. So Hill working it up court here for Cooper. I'm sure they're feeling a little bit shell-shocked. Be down by this kind of margin. It was close for a pretty sizable chunk of that first half, but got away from them late. Newbern giving it over to Hill. Nice shovel over to Massey down the baseline. No, but he was fouled.
Well, that's Cooper basketball right there. You get a couple of quick dribble penetration, a great decision by Hill, and he finds Massey, who goes up. You can see the way he attacks the rim as well, and you get fouled. That's a great offensive possession right there.
Sinan picked up his second foul as Massey goes to the line, and he is now 0 for 3 at the free throw line. That's when you do a nice job attacking and get fouled like that, you really want to make the defense pay, and obviously that's something that he's had a little bit of trouble with. In and out there.
And we saw Cooper last year a lot, especially with Melvin Newbern. I mean, how great they were at offensive rebounding too, right? They'd make you pay. Beautiful backdoor cut, the left-hand layup by Zach Tyson, but you don't see Cooper attacking the offensive glass tonight. At least you haven't. And they were so potent at getting second and third chance opportunity points in the playoffs last year, and I'm sure that'll be one of their calling cards as these kids get a little bit more experience and more aggressive.
Justice, tough pull-up jumper is good for three. A little heat check there, his third three of the night.
Yeah, he averages 10 points. We saw him last year as a freshman get some time, and he's got a sweet stroke, and he's a pretty decent player. You can tell he's going to be a heck of a player as he gets more and more experience.
Foul on Justice there as they tried to dump it inside to Sinan.
Here's the backdoor play. And again, as a shooter, you know they're going to run you out to the three-point line. How do you combat that? You go backdoor. Flip side, Jalen Justice with a street crossover. Guy in his face knocks down a big three.
Burns comes back in here for Osseo. Hughes tried to go inside, knocked away though. They look to double Hill, but he gets it ahead to Justice. Pass tipped, and it comes to Hughes. Hughes to the hoop, knocked away by Hill. What a great defensive play. They really had a 2-on-0 there, and Hughes, I think, couldn't decide whether to pass it or what he exactly was going to do, and Hill caught up to it.
I don't think he thought that Hill was behind him, and then his feet kind of slipped. That would have been an easy layup there if he would have handed it over to Bezdicek.
Inside to Sinan, in a lot of traffic, no good, but rebounded by John Bezdicek, and he flips it up and in.
Well, those Bezdicek brothers seem to always be in the right spot, don't they, Jay? They just are always, they have a knack for the basketball. Do a nice job of scoring there by the rim.
There's a steal, ahead to Matt Bezdicek, layup is good. Justice into the front court. Pull-up jumper is short. Hughes rebounding for Osseo. Marmar Hughes attacks and draws the foul.
Well, and he got that lane. Jalen Justice had to stay out in the quarter because of Zach Tyson. So he opened up a lane the whole way to the basket, and that time Matt Bezdicek in transition with that good length, and they're so good at finishing around the rim.
Newbern picked up the foul. And the free throw bounces around and drops for Hughes. Sutton coming back in. And Hughes makes a pair. And there's Hughes stepping in for the steal. Marmar Hughes with the layup.
He learned his lesson. No goofing around, trying to get fancy footwork. Just finished it. You know, and those are just little easy passes. You got to ball fake that. Try to go back door. Osseo doing a nice job playing the passing lanes. And Marmar Hughes has had a really nice all-around basketball game tonight.
Hill fakes the shot, then drives, no good. Tyson the rebound.
I thought that time that was good pressure on the shot without committing a foul.
There's a steal by Gordon, and he lays it in. Gordon's been pretty quiet tonight. He's a pretty good player.
Yeah, he's just tied for their second leading scorer and really just hasn't gotten going tonight.
Inside, shot blocked, and a jump ball will go Cooper's way as Keyshawn Sutton had it denied.
And this Marmar Hughes gets in the passing lane, and that's just a simple ball fake and a back door. Instead, it leads to an easy 2 points. And on the flip side, Damian Gordon, who's been pretty quiet, but he's a smooth customer. He's got a nice offensive game. Really one of the first times we've seen him get to the basket. You know, I always thought too, if when I was a player and a good scorer, if I didn't have it going offensively, how could I get a steal? Could that get me going? Could I get to the free throw line or a layup, something like that? There's a nice move by Newbern. But sometimes all it takes is one of those kinds of types of scores to get you really going.
Hughes to the rim, wouldn't drop. Justice rebounds for Cooper. It would have been a spectacular finish there. 72-40, Osseo in command. Burns coming out to get it. Now Newbern thought about that long one. Instead drives and it rolls out. Matt Bezdicek pushing it the other way and a foul. I think it might be Burns who will be called.
Well, Bijan Newbern, he didn't get that last one to foul, but you could see the skill on that move. Beautiful footwork, great dribbling, just could not get it to fall. Kind of having one of those nights tonight for the Cooper Hawks.
Both of these teams, we said, heading out of town actually for holiday tournaments. Cooper will be going down to Rochester, and Osseo headed the other direction. They'll be up in Moorhead next week.
We always used to play in that Rochester holiday tournament, and back then, Jay, the highlights were eaten at Shakey's Pizza, if you remember those.
Oh, yeah.
We couldn't wait to win our games and then all get out to we ate about 3 meals a day in those holiday tournaments, and you can see the student spirit here tonight. You can see they have some of your old sweaters, I think, that they wore to the game tonight.
Guy dressed as old. Could be wearing it next week.
The guy dressed as a banana. I'm not sure the holiday reference there, but you love to see good school spirit, and like we talked about, a really good crowd for Thursday night before Christmas weekend. And you know, obviously Osseo Maple Grove, such a big rivalry, but this Osseo Cooper goes back quite a few years. Obviously close proximity, and a lot of these kids know each other, so this game matters.
Justice the rebound, and now out to Bijan Newbern. Justice.
You know, Bijan looks a little tentative tonight, doesn't he, Jay? Like there's a beautiful looking shot, but
Justice gets it to roll in.
He's got a lot of skill too. But, you know, Bijan has got that skill level. I'd like to see him just start attacking, just getting to the rim. I don't know if there's anyone one-on-one that can guard him.
Nelson able to lay it in here for the Orioles. Newbern now attacking and short with that one. He gets it right back and finishes on the second try.
That's the thing. You might not win this game, but maybe you can get yourself out of a funk and finish with some confidence. And there's nothing better going into the holiday feeling a little confident.
And there's Gordon up for the steal. Damian Gordon to the hole and dunks. Cooper trying to put a little something together. I mean, obviously this game probably not winnable anymore, but at least you want to get playing your kind of ball down the stretch here. Harud, oh my goodness. How did he make that go?
Not only was he behind the basket, but his shoe fell off. You can see him trying to put it back on. That should count as 3.
Gordon steps into a three-pointer, and that does count as 3. But boy, that was a fun one by Harud at the other end. Drives here, dishes it off, and a scramble to get to it, but we'll get a foul on Cooper as Nelson tried to make that pass.
And here's Gordon playing the passing lanes. He showed his athleticism with the dunk in transition. A couple of nice, easy baskets there for Cooper. And look at the degree of difficulty on that.
I didn't even catch the shoe part. It was a cool enough shot without that, and that just added to it.
When your momentum's carrying you like that towards the baseline, you actually release it behind the backboard. You got to get a lot of arc on it, and the shoe falls off. I give him a 10, Jay.
I was going to say, you win a lot of games of horse if you can do that regularly. There's a little turnaround in the lane by Sutton. And then a quick foul committed, which Tim Tyson really did not enjoy. Sutton picked up the foul right after picking up a hoop.
Well, Sutton with a great ball fake, spins back, nice easy shot. He said, hey, I'm going to go for a steal. I'm feeling pretty good. And Coach Tyson talked at halftime to Allie about not wanting, playing defense without fouling. So obviously wasn't too pleased with that one.
Jabbed away. Nelson trying to get it back, and a big scramble for it here. Cooler heads prevail.
Well, you love the effort. I guess first and foremost, both guys, both teams getting on the floor, showing that they care about every possession, every loose ball. So you love to see that as a coach. But that's where you got to let it go, right? You can't let that carry over into anything extracurricular. Both teams did a nice job there.
John Bezdacek to the hoop and lays it in. Cooper, as much as they've struggled offensively, I have to believe the defensive end is going to bother Coach Powell even more. They have a lot of easy hoops.
Well, and I think that's some of the pressure Osseo puts on you. They have great spacing, and you got to, protect their shooters. And if you can beat your man offensively, sometimes you can get nice, easy looks going towards the basket.
Here is Justice. Boy, he's had a strong second half. 11 points already in the half, and now the Hawks get a steal. Burns drives into the middle, no go, and Nelson the rebound. Sutton to John Bezdacek, right back to Sutton, and an offensive foul as he made the dish. Ran into Newbern.
Nice job by Newbern stepping in. You see that a lot, guys on the pass, they leave their feet, and it's kind of a newer thing defensively. You step in and try to draw a charge. And that's where the old-fashioned jump stop comes into play, right? Straight up, straight down. It was a beautiful pass, but a nice job by Newbern taking the charge.
And if you can't learn that or aren't doing that, at least you have to be sliding to the side as you make those passes. Here's Justice to the hoop. Wow, he is really showing his skill.
Oh, he's starting to play with a lot of confidence, too. You get a couple of those threes to drop. Only a sophomore, you can see the skill that he's got. I think as he gets more and more responsibility, there's a reach again away from the basket.
Hill will be called for the foul. He tried to beat him to the spot, but their feet just got tangled.
I'll tell you, Justice, he's going to be a heck of an offensive player. Already is.
And there's another one for Hill. So Hill picks up 2 fouls in about 5 seconds. That'll be his 4th.
Well, and the bonus. So you got Osseo again with 8 minutes left to go, going to be in the bonus the rest of the way. And you love to see a guy like Hill hustling, fighting for it, but you got to play without fouling there.
Free throw no good for John Bezdacek. Hill bringing it up against a little pressure here. Oops, and a high dribble there, turnover. And Jacare Onu there for Cooper. He's a little bit raw.
He's got a great basketball body, 6'4", very strong, athletic. That'll come.
Hughes checking back in here for the Orioles.
Yeah, only a sophomore too, Jay.
Tyson's pass across here to Nelson. They tried to go inside Booker, and they got all tangled up in a foul. Or excuse me, a travel. Actually, 2 Osseo guys came together there. Hughes actually ends up with a sore hand out of the deal. And now this pass goes up over everyone. I don't think it was touched by the D. It's just a turnover on Cooper. Booker looking for someone to get it into, and now does to Nelson. Tyson cutting back door, but they don't quite connect. Buddy does a nice job to save it.
And a nice job avoiding the camera, too.
Tyson will fire it up there, no good. Hughes kept it alive. Comes over to Nelson. Nelson in traffic, couldn't get it to fall, and Justice out of there with it. Ahead for Newbern, but just a touch too far. Devin Mosby will come in now for Cooper. Under 7 minutes to go now, and 80-54 Osseo lead. Flashing free is Tyson, and he is fouled.
That was a nice set play out of the dead ball situation. They go 5-around-1. They get a little baseline screen, and Zach Tyson cuts, and he did a nice job turning into the contact there.
Free throw is good. 18 now for Zach Tyson. Second one no good. And it will be Cooper ball. Tyson gets a hand on that one. It will be Cooper ball. Inbounded to Burns. Osseo looking to trap a little bit. Newbern launching a long one, won't drop. Nice rebound there, but a block by Booker. Now Burns gets it. That won't drop. And a 2-on-1 the other way. Tyson, and great hustle back. They'll break it up. And the Orioles will get it back. Tyson shooting a 3, short. Rebound, John Bezdacek, and the layup is good.
Remember I told you that the Bezdaceks are in the right spot at the right time? There's another one. The ball just gets tipped right to Bezdacek. And yet they have this uncanny ability to finish, too, around the rim. And he got a nice, rare open look for Zach Tyson. He misses it, bounces right to John, and John able to finish it with the contact.
Hughes will pick up the foul. Noah Hill in, number 20 for Cooper. Mosby from the corner, and it's good for 3.
He's got a nice looking shot. You can see a lot of arc on that, nothing but the bottom of the net. That's hard to do coming right off the bench, too, on your first touch.
And layup at the other end for Booker.
A beautiful screen and roll. You pay attention to Zach Tyson, a great shooter. Both guys, they don't communicate. And an easy dump down and layup.
Tyson got the steal, but then had it taken right back, and the layup is good for Noah Hill.
Nelson with another easy basket. He had 2 guys on Tyson. He passes down Nelson, just catches and finishes.
Steal here, Tyson going to the hoop. No, but he was fouled. That'll be Newbern picking up his 4th. Tyson heading to the free throw line. And will not drop. Subbing in for Osseo now, Emmett Page, number 20, Sinan coming back in. Kind of a weird deal because the game was, a big margin so early on. If you're Osseo, you don't just pull everybody that early because things could change. Mosby into some traffic. Got the pass away. Pull up won't go, and then a foul on Osseo. I believe they're coming over the top. I think it might be Sinan. Yes, it will be.
A lot of people don't play till after Christmas. You're going to get a few days off, so you want to get your main guys as much run. You don't want to lose your conditioning or your edge.
Jamar Edwards, 23, is in there for Cooper. He played briefly earlier in the game as well. Bekoe Onu with the shot, partially blocked, and then out off of Edwards as he tried to save that one. Matt Bezdacek will come back into the lineup here for Osseo. Pass whipped underneath, Bezdacek to Bezdacek, and he didn't quite haul it in.
Oh, what a look, too, though. I don't think Bezdacek was ready to receive from Bezdacek on that one. But great pass. You can see they throw to the post. They do a nice job of cutting and getting good looks out of it.
Here is Hill. A short jumper wouldn't go. Sinan rebounds here for Osseo. Matt does the check, pushing it ahead, and Page had his shot blocked. It will be Osseo ball.
Oh, nice job by Jamar Edwards running in transition. Great look, great feed, and just nice, excellent block, too.
Sinan will take that 16-footer, no good. Now Mosby looking to push it back for Cooper. Noah Hill. Floater wouldn't go, rebound, no. And then Sinan rebounds, and here we come the other way. Tyson hands it over to Page, and his jumper in and out. Matt Bezdacek the rebound, and he scores.
His good night continues, but on the defensive side, I thought Alex Sinan did a really nice job of playing defense with his arms up, but not putting forward, not picking up a foul. There's a turnover in transition, easy layup for Zach Tyson.
Tyson getting the steal and layup. Here's Mosby. Kicks it to the corner, and that one is short, and then the follow-up try blocked. Hawks get it right back, though. Nice dish back over to Hill, but he left it short. Sinan trying to control it and batted out ultimately by Edwards.
I think you're going to see Coach Tyson get his bench out, get some of his starters out of the game.
Nelson comes back in. Harut coming back in for the Orioles as the Bezdicek brothers will sit down. Harut into the front court.
And we'll report he's got both shoes on.
There's a steal. Looking down low, Nelson posting up, but he missed the shot. Great hustle to get to it though by Page, and then he was fouled by Mosby.
That's just great hustle by Page, right? It was a great offensive execution. They get a good look, and Page just out-hustled the Hawks to the ball. And I love how they get the offensive rebound. They look to score. You see a lot of guys hold on to the ball, they'll shot fake for unnecessarily. That time Page got rewarded for a really good hustle play.
His free throw is good, so he gets his name in the score column for the first time tonight. Osseo definitely has a shot at hitting 100 here. Got 2.5 minutes plus, and they're within 7.
And do all of our listeners get free Big Macs tomorrow if we get 100?
Nixnay. Richard Mulba coming into the Osseo lineup. And Page makes the pair here for the Orioles. Edwards. Mosby spinning away. Driving dish. It went off of Edwards though, and ultimately Mulba comes out of there with it for Osseo.
Kind of a chaotic possession there for Cooper.
Down to the corner, and then they look inside with it, and a foul will be called there. They found Sutton flashing free. I think it's Mosby who will pick it up. Yeah, they've gone to running time with the margin that we have here late in this game. Free throw, no good there for Sutton. So they probably won't get to 100 considering that. Phil Taylor was going to come in, but I think it was for the shooter. Some question just about substitution, I think, so the official scorer trying to clarify with the official on court. Sutton's second free throw is good, so they were sending a sub in for him. That's Phil Taylor, number 23. And we've got a technical foul called against Osseo. It's something to do with the substitution or uniform violation, I think. I don't believe it was anything to do with anybody flipping off or anything like that. I think it's a uniform situation. Oops, and then Mosby airballs the free throw. He's all alone down there.
That could be a lonely place too when the whole gym's watching and you don't want to miss one short. Let's hope he bounces back here and knocks it down. That's what he does. I like it.
Second one is good.
He gave a sign after he made that one. I love it.
Inbounded here comes Edwards driving it and was fouled. I think that'll be on Taylor.
I'll tell you what, we obviously last Friday, Jay, you and I did the Maple Grove Park Center game, but it does give validation to Park Center after seeing Osseo tonight, and I think they played a pretty good game to know that they beat Osseo by 20 plus, beat Maple Grove coming down the stretch. So I think it sets up really well for Park Center to really keep an eye on them. Obviously, they're going to have Champlin Park they're going to have to deal with, Maple Grove and Osseo again. But this Northwest Suburban Conference is deep and strong.
Edwards makes a pair, and we'll come to the end of the game, and it's a big victory for Osseo tonight. as they roll to a 95-62 victory over the Hawks. That stretch late in the first half just kind of got them back on their heels. And Cooper, to be honest, kind of looks like a team that's only had a couple of games. I still feel like they have a chance to be a good ball team, but things just didn't go their way tonight. Osseo, I think, got a lot closer to what their coaches want to see tonight, especially at the defensive end.
And that's where that loss, I think, for Osseo comes into play, right? They learned from it. They bounced back. They had great defensive effort. And with foul trouble, the way it started for Cooper, just never got into a rhythm offensively. And by the time they did, it was too little, too late. But knowing Coach Powell like we do over the years, I'm going to guess he's going to have these guys, crescendoing, getting better and better as the year goes. And they're a team, you can tell, they got skill level and they got athletes, they got toughness. If they take care of the ball and can play defense without fouling, that's a team I don't think anyone's going to want to see come playoff time.
So Osseo improves to 5-1 with the nice victory here this evening. Again, heading into their holiday tournament as they get ready to go to northwestern Minnesota to Moorhead, and then Cooper, as we said, taking the other direction down south to Rochester. Let's go down to Allie now with a couple of the victorious Orioles.
Thank you, Jay. I'm with Marmar Hughes and Matt Bestacek. We're going to start over here with Marmar. In the opening minutes of this game, it looked like Cooper almost had the advantage. They came out pretty strong, but as we saw as the game progressed, you guys really dominated offensively. How were you guys able to get this win?
We had to just play our game. We ran down the floor and we executed our plays.
Coming into this game, you guys have been beating your opponents by an average of 35 points a game. Why is your offense so explosive?
Defensively, we get it done defensively, and that creates offensive opportunities for us.
Marmar, you're going into winter break. What are you looking forward to most?
Basically, just getting better off break and going into a Christmas tournament and ready to win.
All right, we wish you luck in that. We'll turn it over here to Matt Bestacek. Matt, this game, your coach said, was a test. He scheduled this because he wanted you guys to play a good team going into Christmas break. What grade do you give yourself and why?
I give myself a B+ because I could have done a lot better rebounding. I think our team did a good job overall on the offensive side of the ball and defense, which turned into a lot of offensive scores for us. So, yeah.
Really good start to your season. What do you see for this team down the long run?
For us, we have a lot of work to go, but I see us pretty successful, hopefully making a state run in the end of February.
Matt, what are you looking forward to most over your holiday break?
Probably the food and get in the gym with the guys, get some team chemistry going, and go from there.
Eat the food, work it off on the court.
Yeah.
All right, we'll send it back to you, Jay and Ryan.
Thank you very much, Allie, and thanks to the Osseo guys as they come up with a big night. Balanced scoring here. Matt Bestacek led them with 23, 21 for Zach Tyson, 15 for Hughes, and 13 for John Bestacek. Justice had 18 off the bench to lead Cooper as they were hampered by foul trouble in that first half. 95-62 Osseo, our final score tonight. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas from all of us at CCX Sports.